Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here tonight at the RA restaurant up here in Prospect, Connecticut, and we're doing the CROFT class school reunion here in Prospect this evening. And I'm here with Corey, my photographer, and shortly we'll be roaming around the room here, and you'll be seeing a lot of classmates from the 55, 65, that era. So what I got here is Marty Manello and
Susan Schnars.
And they're going to tell us a little bit about themselves, what they're doing here. Marty, we'll start off with you.
I graduated in 1965, the last year CROFT. The next year everyone went to Kennedy. I then went to Temple University in Philadelphia. Then I went to New England School of Law in Boston. And I came back to my hometown, Waterbury, to practice law. I've been a lawyer 42 years. Still going strong, and happy to see all my friends from CROFT High School tonight.
Susan?
My name is Susan Schnars. I graduated from Holy Cross High School in 1982. I'm here with Marty. My life is a lot less exciting. I went to Western Connecticut State University, and I'm retired now.
And what else do you do?
Well, I take care of Marty.
Oh, you do? Okay, thank you very much, folks.
All right, Nick.
Okay, I'm back again, Nick Caution. I'm back here with John DiPastino and his wife, Soledad. Okay, John, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're doing here this evening.
Well, this is amazing on how much time passed by. And as the president of the class of 1963, I'm really happy to be here.
Very good. So tell us what you do now, John. You've got a business going. You've been in Waterbury all your life.
I've been in Waterbury all my life. Along the way, I became an ordained minister, and I've done some traveling to teach in other countries. And also, not too long ago, but it went by very fast, about 23 years ago, I got involved in reorganizing the governor's football band in New Haven. So that's part of my life now, and music and different things like that. And basically, I'm working kind of semi-full-time because I've got a lot to do at the insurance agency that I worked at all my life, and it hasn't changed too much, so that's what I'm doing now.
John, why don't you introduce your wife and tell us a little bit about herself.
Okay, this is my wife, Soledad. She is a Spanish teacher at Ridgefield High School, a native of Mexico, a very well-educated woman.
So you got a lot to say. Go ahead.
No, my name is Soledad de Pastino, and I have been in the United States since 2000. I have been a teacher for more than 25 years, part of the teaching in Mexico, part here in the United States, and I'm happy to be here.
So you were born in Mexico, now you're a United States citizen.
Yes, I'm a citizen.
Very good. We got to know that. That's very important.
Yes.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're going through the class reunion here, over here at the area. This is Nick Cautious signing off. I'll be back shortly. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're back again. Here I am again with a couple of more classmates. They're going to tell us who they are, what they're doing here this evening, and where they went on for their careers. Go ahead, sir. Tell us who they are.
Okay, I'm Tom Lago. I graduated in 1964, and I was a union sheet metal worker for 47 years. And this is my wife, Cheryl.
Hello, I'm Tommy's wife, Cheryl. I've been married to him for 47 years, and I take care of horses.
Oh, that's wonderful. What a wonderful career, huh?
Yes, it is.
I got to ask you a question about a horse. How much water do they drink in a day?
The horse will drink approximately about 10 to 20 gallons a day.
Well, that's like a small spot.
Yes, it is. And they'll eat about 20 pounds of hay.
Wow. And how long have you been taking care of horses?
Pretty much my whole life.
Wow. So that's an interesting career, huh?
Yes, it is.
So let's get back to you a little bit, and then we'll go back to your wife. But tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you've been doing and what's your life now. And how many years you got married, both of you? That's always a tricky question.
47.
47.
Okay. 47 years married, and now what are you doing with yourself?
We're both retired, and we live in Harwinton, Connecticut. We have a small farm, and right now we have only 2 horses. We had 5 at one time, but we enjoy it out there, and so far so good. fairly healthy, and we have 2 children, a boy and a girl. My son is ex-Marine. He lives in Cleveland, and he works for the Department of Defense. And my daughter and her husband live in New Hartford, and they have 2 boys. So we have 2 grandchildren.
Wonderful. And now you, besides taking care of horses, what else do you do?
Well, I used to work for AT&T for a number of years, and then I retired. And primarily, we take care of our youngest grandson, who's 2. So during the week, and between the horses, and we also show them, and we also take them camping. So it's a lot of fun. You gotta like it, and we do.
Okay, once again, your names are?
Tom Lago and my wife Cheryl Lago.
And you're classmate at CROFT High School. What year?
1964.
And thank you very much, folks.
Thank you.
Bob McAvoy. He's my significant other, the love of my life, and hope we have a good time tonight.
What year did you
1963.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your high school, something that you remember in high school.
It was very quiet in high school.
Oh, come on, I don't believe it.
Very studious. No, it was a great school. I mean, I had good memories.
So what did you get out of Waterbury High School? I mean, where'd you go?
I went to Post.
Okay, then did you start out with a career?
As an accountant in the healthcare field.
And then you met this handsome guy. Where did he come from?
He is actually my girlfriend who fixed us up.
Oh my gosh.
He's my cousin.
That's great. Small world. It is a small world. You guys are tall people.
Yeah. I'm smiling ever since.
So tell us a little about yourself, sir.
Let's see. My name's Bob McAvoy, of course, and I worked for about 20 years for the post office. I went to Sacred Heart High School. I just had my reunion weeks ago. We have annual reunions. We're all getting so old, you know? We're dropping like flies. We'll meet annually.
Now you, sir, tell us about yourself.
I'm married, Albert.
Oh, wonderful.
I graduated from Sacred Heart, went to Fairfield, taught band.
I'm Alberta, West Camp Holy, it's Galvin now. I'm from the class of 63. This is my husband, Brett. And after CROFT, I went to UConn and I taught kindergarten for 26 years.
Okay, and this is the young lady that's in charge of everything here right now, folks. She's going to tell us about the event, what's going on, and what it took to put this thing together.
Hey, I'm Bernadette Graziosa. I also graduated in 1963 from CROFT School. And my co-chair is George Palladino, and we did put this together. We attended another reunion, and this is kind of like one talk about getting together, and if we started something, it was supposed to be a little gathering, and then it turned out to be a 2-day event. And here we are tonight at the hour.
And how many people are going to have here?
We have almost 125 people here. And after high school, I went to police college, and I was in the secretarial field, and then I went to management, and now my husband and I have a home business here in Woodbury.
Thank you very much, and we'll see more of her a little later. Thank you,
All
folks.
right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm Barbara Bannell. My husband Robert went to CROFT. 1964 he graduated. I'm a widow. My husband passed many years ago, but it's so much fun to be with my brother-in-law here, who also went to an earlier year. My friend Jack, who was my husband's best friend, and my girlfriend Rosemary, who is Anthony's sister, but we all grew up together.
Okay, now you tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
Okay, my name is Anthony Percaro, class of 1960. I graduated, went to electronics school, worked for a company in Waterbury, started my own business in Naugatuck, and ran the business for 35 years. Now I work for the Archdiocese. Every morning I do the Catholic Mass, 10 o'clock live. That's me. It's my sister, Jack, her husband.
Okay, and tell us a little about yourself.
Hi, I'm Rosemary Paul. I also am a class of 1964, and my husband and I married my high school sweetheart. We've been married 49 years this year. We lived away for 20 years in Fort Worth, Texas. Came back to Connecticut about 18 years ago, and we live out in Roxbury. And I taught school for 27 years.
Okay.
Well, I'm Jack Paul. My lovely wife just told you about the history we've had together, and just a wonderful life together, and just enjoyed doing stuff. Texas was something else, beautiful place, and we had a good time there. Came back. I went to college, and I'm an environmentalist.
Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. God's got a job for me.
Yes.
Peace on earth, folks. Okay, this is McCarthy signing off. I will be right back with more people. Bye.
Exelda Kaminsky Messenger, graduate, class of 64, and I am presently enjoying retirement. Every day is a snow day, and I love it.
Okay, how about you, sir?
That's my husband.
Hi, I'm Fred Messenger, Zel's husband. We're both retired. We're both living here in Connecticut and having a great time. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Hi, I'm Larry Wilson, graduated 1963. I now work for Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
What do you do now?
I drive for the Vacation Club.
He actually dresses up at Mickey Mouse.
We're going to Florida, folks. We're getting on Disney World. And you?
Hi, I'm Annette Wilson. I'm his other half.
And tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, you people are shy. You got to talk a little more. Go ahead.
We live in Orlando, Florida, and loving it.
And how long have you been down there?
7 years.
7 years at Disney World.
That's all.
Wow.
Can you come back to me?
Yes,
okay. I forgot what the hell I did for a living. I was a police officer for 40 years. I used to arrest rats, now I work for a mouse.
You were a police officer where? In Connecticut? You better come back. We can use your help.
Manchester, Connecticut.
Manchester. Okay. Let's just have your dates again when you graduated. What year?
1963.
1960, sir?
1964.
Okay. We didn't. We already got you. Thank you very much. We will be back. And we're going to take care of the rats.
Okay. I'm Cyril Franco, and I was in the last graduating class in CROFT 1965, and I went on to college to teach. I taught Spanish, Italian, and theater. I just retired a few years ago. When I was at CROFT, I was involved with the Italian club, and took Italian for 3 years. And many of the people here I hung around with, they were my friends, and we had a good time. We enjoyed going downtown, stopping at some of the restaurants after school while we were waiting for our buses to hang around a little bit. And that's all gone now, unfortunately, but we have our memories of downtown Waterbury.
Hi everybody, I'm Sharon Capristo Valentino, class of 1965 from CROFT High School. This is my buddy.
I'm Bill Blair, class of 65, the last class of CROFT, and I get really upset when people somehow just refuse to acknowledge CROFT and they bundle it with Kennedy. Who's Kennedy? What's Kennedy? Out with Kennedy. CROFT High School Tigers. Thank you very much.
Okay, hang on. So tell us where you are from here, what careers you went on to, and where you're living now.
Okay. I'm still living in Waterbury, lived here all my life, went to the schools here, worked here in the schools. I was a teacher in the Waterbury schools, and I retired in 2008, and still live here.
And although I hang around in Waterbury all the time, working in Waterbury, teaching in Waterbury, visiting my parents in Waterbury, doing everything in Waterbury, I put my head down on a pillow in Woolkett. I taught in Litchfield. I just want to say, this young lady to my left here was every guy's dream girl when we were a senior in high school. I had no luck. I didn't even try it because she only dated older guys. I had a nice teaching career, still teach part-time. I remember all my teachers vividly. I had some fabulous teachers. I had some marginal teachers, but I'm sure that can be said of the medical community and the legal community as well. So nothing sticks out like profoundly. It was a great experience. I had to do it all over
once again your names and what year you graduated.
Sharon Capristo Valentino, 1965.
Bill Blair, graduate 1965.
Thank you, folks. Okay, we're back here with a couple of more gentlemen. They're going to tell us who they are. And we got some guests also, not only schoolmates, but we got some guests that showed up, and they're going to tell us too. So go ahead, Matt.
Matt Walensky, formerly from Waterbury. I lived in Southington about 45 years. Graduated CROFT in 1963.
And what else you do?
I was a math teacher for 10 years at Crosby High School. Then I went into real estate appraisal work for the past 35 years, and now I'm officially retired.
Okay, and where do you live in now? You living in Waterbury?
I'm living in Southington about 45 years now.
All right, so you travel and everything, you go up and down the coast, and you stay in Connecticut.
I'm traveling. We've got a house in Charleston, Rhode Island, and I got a house in Naples, Florida. And we're having fun.
So Waterbury is a great place to grow up and teach, right?
I love Waterbury. Great city.
Thank you.
Great city.
Okay, and who you are, sir?
My name is Raymond Morelli, and I'm married to Mary Jane Judson. She graduated in 1963 from CROFT High School. I graduated myself from Sacred Heart in 1970. Been a pharmacist for about 35 years, and I still live in Waterbury, Connecticut. One of the most interesting cities in the world.
I think that Waterbury is going to turn around. I think we're on the comeback.
I believe so.
And I think the ones that are going to help Waterbury come back is the senior citizens that are educators like you guys to help this community out, to know where you guys were. You had it tougher then than we have it now, than these kids have it now.
I would love to see it come back. At one time it was just...
You're going to help. You're going to help. It was a great city.
Yes, it was. I agree with you.
Thank you.
Okay.
A pleasure.
It still has a lot of potential.
That's my goal. That's why. Here we are. We're getting. What's your name, Guma?
Mario.
Mario. How long you been over here?
I've been here a year and a half.
A year and a half. Nice, huh? Well, tell the people where we are up here.
I love it. We're at Aria and Prospect, the #1 venue in the state of Connecticut.
#1, and we're going to make it, keep it #1.
That's
and
right.
We're going to keep
Absolutely.
it, bring Waterbury back to Prospect, right?
Beautiful.
You got to come through Prospect first.
I do.
And you got to stop at the Aria. Grazie. All right, Gumba.
Good help.
Thank you. All right, here's Salud. Maybe I'll go around with the wine and the tables and say Salud. Come on.
Class of 1964, Marie Barkowskis, that is. Today I am Marie Mandel. I'm living on Long Island, New York. I'm a retired nurse, and I'm enjoying the company of this wonderful table, and enjoying my friend Susan, who I've known ever since grammar school. So this is a very big night for us. Thank you.
I'm Susan Mower Wade. I graduated in 1964, and Marie's an old friend, and I'm happy to see her.
Hi, I'm Antoinette Verno. I'm here with my husband, John Verno. I grew up in Talcott. My maiden name was Perugini, and I'm seeing a lot of neighborhood friends, but it's a wonderful time.
Hi, my name is John Verno. I'm here with my wife, Antoinette Verno. I graduated CROFT High School in 1963.
Hi, my name is John Wade. I'm Susan Mower-Wade's husband.
I lived in Talcott.
And I just met the Vernos tonight and found out that we live on the same street.
My name is Don Pomeroy. I'm a graduate of 1964 of CROFT High School. What do I most remember about CROFT is I would say all of the good friends and people that went to CROFT are my fondest memories.
Hi, I'm Linda Pomeroy, and I'm here as a guest of Don Pomeroy. I graduated from Wilby, so I'm just a guest. Thank you.
My name is Gail Bernier Evangelista. I live in Philadelphia. I graduated from CROFT 1964, and I remember that everyone felt that they were part of the school, that there were no real cliques or exceptions, that everybody accepted one another. And outside of that, in the dilapidated building, which was already condemned before we graduated, we had a real good time.
When I graduated high school, I went directly into the United States Army. I was a combat photographer serving in a construction battalion in Kaiserslautern, Germany. And then I went to South Vietnam, spent some time building our own barracks in Long Binh, and then I was temporary duty in the Central Highlands with a cavalry unit. And by the way, it happened to be General George Custer's former outfit. So that, I told my CO at the time, you got to be out of your mind to send me to an outfit that got annihilated once. And I came back here and immediately got a job with Connecticut Light and Power. I spent about 20 to 22 years as a carpenter, and after getting my degree, and during that time, but not 22 years, I ultimately became the manager of that civil construction department. That's it.
Okay, next. How about you?
Okay, I actually graduated from Wilby High School in 1965.
I could tell.
She's a young baby. In 1965, I went on to become an X-ray technician that I did for about 22 years. I worked at Waterbury Hospital in evenings while raising children, and then moved on to becoming a medical receptionist, Girl Friday, for an orthopedic surgeon in Waterbury. Retired a couple years ago, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Good job. Did you do yours? Go ahead.
I didn't get off the block. I crossed the street from CROFT High School and went to St. Mary's Nursing School. But that was a big leap of faith for me. However, I didn't finish there because I decided to interrupt my studies and get married. So I finished at St. Raphael's Nursing School in New Haven. And I've practiced nursing on and off for 40 years. Now retired and loving it.
I'm Joe O'Neill. I graduated from CROFT High School in 1965. I joined the Marines, went to Vietnam, got wounded, received a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. I came home in 1968 and became a United States mailman. I carried mail for 38 years and retired in 2006, and I'm very happy in my life. This is my wife, Peggy. Peggy O'Neill.
I went to Waterbury Catholic High School, though I didn't go to CROFT High School. I worked at Webster Bank, main office downtown Waterbury. We have 3 sons and 6 grandchildren.
Joe, Bob, and Tim are our sons. What are our grandsons?
We have Joey, Sloan, Callan, Paul, and the new baby on the way in January.
On the way in January. Joey's 23, and the one on the way. That's including all 6.
23 to Shirley Donis Gordon. Graduated in 1962 from went on to become a teacher, taught in Waterbury for 35 years, retired, and got my wonderful husband while I was teaching. He was a teacher also, and we got married in 1972. We have 3 children, Carla, Sandra, and John, and 3 grandsons. Now I'm retired and I'm loving it.
I'm her husband, Charlie Corden. I graduated from Sacred Heart in 1956. I've been in the military. I spent a career teaching. And right now I'm retired and I write. I have written a book of poetry which has been published. I've written some non-fiction books, and right now I'm working on a novel.
Here with my darling wife Karen. We're up here doing interviews for this class reunion. It's a great thing. This is a premier showing. It's never been done before in this community. My name is Nick Kosher, and I'm here with my darling wife to do this this evening. Karen, say a few words. What do you think? Does it look great?
Hi. They really made it a beautiful function for the recipients. I'm sure that everyone will have a wonderful time.
And we are 2 Wilby High School graduates 60 years ago. Karen and Nick Kosher. We will be back. Thank you.
Rosemary Morelli. I graduated CROFT High School in 1964. And my fond memories junior year, this one, and we had a lot of fun in Mrs. Toomey's sewing class homeroom. A little trouble, but not too bad. Hi, I'm Marilyn Davino Willens. Graduated in 64 in Miss Toomey's room with trouble with a big T. I live in Southington, 45 years, and here in my class reunion. Glad to be here. Very nice place.
I'm Diane McNarella-Mosa. I graduated in 1963. I live in Middlebury now, and I was a nurse for 31 years at St. Mary's. And I married my husband here, Tom, and we both graduated in 1963.
I'm Tom Rosa, class of 63. I married my wife. We were in the same class, but I never dated her in high school at all. But my fond memory is I became an art teacher. I taught 30 years in the city of Waterbury. And my fond remembering was my art teacher, Miss Garrity. She's the one that made me go into art. I'll never forget one day, we used to go in extra early to do our work. If we didn't finish up at the end of the day, we could go in early in the back room and do our paintings. And I remember I was having trouble with one painting. And she came up behind me, inside of a second she went, and it was beautiful. I was so stunned by that. I went into art because of her. She was wonderful.
Sharon Gibbons Keel, class of 1964. Two wonderful teachers at CROFT High School, Miss Bank in English and Mr. Coviello in math. I became a math and English teacher. I taught all over the world, ending up in Dubai until 2002. Came back to Connecticut and live in Hampton, and now I'm selling real estate. Very happy to be here.
One thing, Molly, is one thought from Molly is, what is one thing you'll remember that you did when you were in high school? One good thing that you can really remember. One for me. Go ahead.
I started babysitting. I graduated.
I was on the junior varsity team. Never made the varsity.
I just remember we all got along and we loved high school, every minute of it.
School was made lifelong friends.
Okay, thank you very much. While we're waiting for other guests, more guests, come on, I'll tell you a story.
I'm Nancy Vendetti, class of 1964. Currently I'm work in a bank. I'm a vice president and manager trust office, but I've done many things over the years. I lived in Europe. I lived in Manhattan. I traveled all over the world. I worked for financiers, and let's see, my best memory of CROFT would probably be the Stentorian office. We spent a lot of time in that office, and we were able to get a pass that was an anytime, anywhere pass, and we just hung out a lot. So that's my best memory.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Florence Burns Concepcion, graduated in 1964, and I'm a wife, mother, grandmother, summer in Rhode Island, and winter in my home in St. Thomas. I've got 4 grandchildren, 2 boys, 2 girls, Kaden Bryce, and Amara and Sakara. And I babysit for Amara and Sakara because they're in Rhode Island. The other 2 are in Jersey. I was a histologist at St. Mary's Hospital, where I met my husband, who was a physician. He was a surgeon, and then he switched residencies to anesthesiology. I've been married happily, the ups and the downs, for 47 years.
Wow, nice story. Next, go ahead.
Mine, huh? Joyce Tarula Beauchamp, class of 64. I have a master's in nursing. I've nursed mostly 5-6 states. I was lucky enough to do big jobs. I'm retired now.
lived 40 years in Texas, San Antonio and Austin, quite different ends of the world really, and now I'm in Colorado. So it's a pleasure to be back and go CROFT. You know, I mean, it's a pleasure to be with you.
Hi, my name is Ed Aston. I graduated in 1964. I went on to go to college at Southern Connecticut, and I came back to Waterbury to be a high school guidance counselor at Wilby and Crosby. I also got involved in coaching swimming at Cheshire High School, which I did there for about 40 years. I'm presently living in Jupiter, Florida, and the best thing that I can think of about CROFT High School is the great friends that I had there. And I had to come back here and see our friends because they were so special.
Yeah, I do think so too. Perfect, Eddie.
And you all gave you one memory, right?
Oh, my one memory? The band. I was in the band, and the boys were great. You know, I was one of the few girls in the band. It was fun. They were so much fun. Yeah, the band was great.
My memory is just going with our friends all the time to either the drink school social and the music box and everything with our CROFT classmates. The school itself was just precious. Not the best looking in the world, but it was just the place for us. We loved it.
It was great. It really was great.
Yes, it was.
People were great. We had a lot of fun.
What's your best memory?
My butler going in your closet.
I won't dare tell I bought her a bottle for
We love you for it too. Those are the best days.
My memory was the newspaper office where we hung out. We got to know everything that was going on in the school. We had a good time, and it was great. We visited all our friends all the time. It's amazing we got anything done and we graduated.
What everybody else probably in the class didn't know, I was good friends with the principal and the vice principal. I worked for them in the summer. I could do no wrong when I came back to school. I got away with murder. And so those guys plus the teachers were the best.
Mr. Kenny and Mr. Rager.
Ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I knew them on first name basis.
Yeah.
And if I got in trouble, I almost got Mrs. Butler wanted me thrown out when I brought her the bottle.
Okay, thank you, folks. Thanks. Four more. Need another one.
Danny, get over here. Danny!
Get over here. I ordered over.
My name is Susan Moore Wade. I graduated in 1964 and went right over here. It was in my homeroom. I remember a lot of good memories from CROFT High School, and right now I am taking care of an elderly woman, and she is kind of sickly, and I've been with her for 6 years.
Dominic Maribel. I graduated in 1964. I was one of the top students in school.
Oh, he didn't forget that.
I was in the high 70s. I retired from the Postal Service. I retired from being a sheriff, and now I'm a restaurant owner.
And how long have you been a restaurant owner?
I'll be starting my 10th year in February.
And what's one of your most important memories?
I graduated.
You live where?
I live in Prospect. My restaurant's name is Maribel's Italian Restaurant.
Okay.
And I want to know if she still has my gold chain.
Okay.
Tony Durso. I graduated in 1962. I worked for AMF Elkhart Sailboat Company, making sailboats and shipping them for 23 years. Then I went to the state schools, state education system, and taught as a substitute teacher in the trades, mostly automotive and welding. And I just retired not too long ago. I'm into restoring cars. I have a 60 Corvette, and I'm into motorcycles. I have a Harley Davidson motorcycle, which I ride with my friend Dominic right here. We've known each other for about 65 years.
Yeah, Tony, I interviewed you during that car show when you came into Waterbury.
Car show, right?
Danny Mastapetro, class of '64. I liked it so much I stayed for 5 years instead of normal 4. It was more fun in the 5th year, by the way. And I'm a retired UAW union rep after 34 years, and an active musician still with the American Federation of Musicians. That's one of your great memories. Being there for 5 years. Oh, good memory. Yes.
I'm Paula Bartolini Otali, and I graduated from CROFT High School in 1963. And I guess my fondest memory of CROFT was the wonderful friends that I made there, many of whom are lifelong friends. And so that's just what when I think of high school, that's what I think of. I think of my friends, and we had great teachers, and it was a good school. It was a good 4 years.
And what did you go on to now after you graduated?
I became a special education teacher, and then I was a school principal for a lot of years. And then after I retired, I joined the Peace Corps, and I taught English for 2 years in Romania.
Wow.
And now I'm back home, and I'm volunteering, and I'm doing reading intervention in the schools.
So an educator never quits, do they?
Never quits. And I live in Michigan. I live in Michigan? I live in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Heavens to Murgatroyd. And you are?
I'm Diane Spada Lawson, and I graduated in '63. I remember all the friends and cheerleading. That was a lot of fun. And I especially remember when I was with my best friend and we had to hitchhike to the game because we were late. It's a good thing that parents are gone so they don't hear that. And the guy that picked us up, do you remember? Yes. We got in the back seat and he gave us this big lecture of how we should never hitchhike and especially never get in the back seat. But we survived and we made it to the game. And I don't know, it was just a fun time and with all your friends and not studying, but it was good. And like Paula said, we just have remained friends with each other all these years, There's like a little group of us and we still go out to eat with our husbands and just are still together. Yeah. And I was a teacher. Yeah. I taught in Wilkett and then Naugatuck. And 5th grade and then 1st grade for about 30 years. And I'm retired now. And oh yeah, I do Zumba. I take care of my mother-in-law, who's 99, by the way.
Okay.
And that's what I do. I have 4 kids.
See, once you get talking, you can keep going, right?
You have to shut me off.
No,
Wait till you get to me.
Okay.
Not quick.
Hi, my name is Elaine Lafreniere Briggs. I graduated in 1964, and I'm married to Joe Briggs. And between the two of us, we have 4 daughters, and I just remember all the good times we had. I never hitchhiked, but we did have fun. I worked at different office jobs, but my favorite job was working for my daughter at Hoyt's Theater, and then they closed, so I had no job after that, and I was happy. Now we retired, and
It's like a mug shot.
they call us confused snowbirds. We go back and forth every 3 months to Florida, and we love it. And that's it.
Dave Pedanici graduated in 1963, and my 4 years at CROFT were quite exciting, I guess you would call it, from being really afraid to having tons of friends. And way back then, I remember we had friends called clickers in the no one remembers the clickers and the greasers. The hoods and the greasers. And I was friends with most of them, which was really kind of neat. And of course, I knew all these people here, which is really good. Joe for an awful long time. We went to kindergarten together. So this is going back a few. Some of my favorite memories of CROFT were when 2 o'clock and get out, when all the 4 high schools in Waterbury get out, there had to be at least 2,000 to 3,000 young people downtown Waterbury trying to find their way home. Some could, some couldn't. Sometimes I didn't, sometimes I didn't too. But we had a lot of fun there, and our high school, my high school experience was really good. Can't complain. I graduated, went out to college and became an industrial engineer for probably 30, 40 years before they threw me out. And the reason I say that is because the company closed down. Then I became a carpenter, which I really, really enjoyed. And that's it. And here I am now, enjoying the rest of my life, retired.
I'm Joe Briggs. I graduated in 1963 from CROFT. It was a simpler time for us. Dave had the wheels, by the way. He was the only one that had a car and took us around everywhere we went. It was a nice school, it was a fun school. It wasn't a beautiful campus like they have these days, but I definitely remember punishment session at school because I was there often with my own seat. For whatever reason, I don't know, fondest memories, sitting out front watching the girls from Catholic High come by. It is what it is. Like I said, it was a much simpler time then, and we did make friends that last forever. And after I graduated, I went into the Marine Corps, came out, did an apprenticeship at Scoville's, worked a couple of factory jobs, and I finally retired from the Postal Service. Great friends, great time. It looks like a prison now, but ironically, we graduated in '63. In 1993, I was walking through those same halls at CROFT because the Veterans Advisor was there. And I said, 1963 I walked around here, wondering what am I going to do with my future. Here it is 30 years later, I'm still walking around wondering what I'm going to do with my future. But it was a good time, it was a good school, and I'm thankful we had that in the friends.
Hi, I'm Ellie DeCapua, Derwin-Crownson, and I graduated from CROFT in 1964. My experience at CROFT was just wonderful, as everybody else has said. I loved the feeling of safety, of feeling secure, surrounded by friends, surrounded by teachers that I knew I could approach and talk to. I felt that I had a good education, and when I went on to college, I was able to compete. But what's interesting is I've reconnected with a lot of my high school friends from that time period, and over the past 2 or 3 years, we've been visiting back and forth with each other in Florida or here, and it's been such a good experience, I can't tell you. So I have only fond memories of CROFT High School. Since then, I went on to college. I taught high school English in Reading, Connecticut for 30 years, which is where I live, and I'm retired now. I travel. I've been all over the world. I love to see people in different countries, to see how they live, to understand their cultures and enjoy their cultures. And of course to go back to Italy, which is my own background. So I'm just very happy to be here, and thank you for the interview.
What a beautiful night and educational evening that we have here tonight going on. Maybe this will go on to the kids in this community to let them know the quality of people you are and what came through Waterbury, Connecticut in the last 60 or 70 years.
Okay, my name is Mo Connors. I graduated from CROFT in 1963. I played football and basketball. Then I went to the Drake Socials. enjoyed it. Dated a few girls. Also, in high school, I chased these two girls around Hamilton Park, ice skating, trying to steal their scarves. Sometimes I was successful, sometimes I was not. I finally married the lovely woman on my right here, who I went to grammar school with too.
Hi, I'm Robbie Connors. For 23 years of my life, I was Robbie Carroll. And then I met my husband, who reunited with my husband I went to grammar school with. And we've been married for 47 years. And there were many great high school years in Waterbury. Everyone probably mentioned to you the Handy Kitchen. And that was where most of us met. And that's how I know Carol.
Hi, I'm Carol Brown, was Dragonis, graduated in 1964 from CROFT. Had 4 great years there, got into a little mischief now and then, was silly then and am still silly. I'm retired and living in Boynton Beach, Florida, and loving every minute of it. And my fondest memories are of the Handy Kitchen and ice skating and trying to get away from O'Connor's.
My name is Gloria Sarada, formerly Cambino. I graduated in 1964, and my fondest memories are meeting Elaine Lafreniere, who my maid of honor when I got married, and my husband, who I'll be married to for 50 years in April.
And what are some of your memories of the
Sneaking out of the bathroom to go smoke.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Ed Cucciella and Nick Caution. How are you, Eddie?
Fabulous, thank you, Nick.
Eddie, why don't you tell the listening audience a little bit about yourself, a little bit about what went in here this evening, and a little about your education.
My name's Ed Cucciella. I was born and raised in Waterbury, Connecticut on Piedmont Street. I attended CROFT High School, and that's why I'm part of this reunion. My graduating class was June of 1965. That was the last official graduating class from CROFT High School, because in September of 1965, Kennedy High School was opened in remembrance of our slain president from 1963. The class of 65 had their 50th reunion last September. So this September, we're having this all-CROFT gathering from 1958 to 1965. And because I was involved with my class, I wound up getting very involved with Mrs. G, Bernadette Graziosa, and her wonderful husband, John. And the two of them, as well as working 60 hours a week owning a restaurant in Waterbury that's been there for over 75 years, they're just a wonderful couple. Mrs. G put her heart and soul into bringing the 7 classes together for the first time. I got involved, and there's another gentleman here that will do an interview with you, George Palladino, who happens to live in Florida. George is a wonderful man. He had the idea for it. Bernadette Graziosa took the idea and turned it into a reality. I got involved, and we put together a lot of ideas, and this is the consequence of many months of planning. We're very pleased with the turnout, the people that have come, because you see, Waterbury is a very, very unique town. It's a big city, yet it's very small. Everybody knows each other. There are people still walking around seeing people that they hadn't seen in years and talking about the relationships that were developed over the years. The best part of Waterbury were the 50s, the 60s, into the 70s, when you had CROFT High School, Crosby High School, Sacred Heart High School, Catholic High, the all-girls school, Notre Dame Academy, are all coming. In fact, Wilby, Crosby, and CROFT together. All those high schools together used to meet downtown after school. And this was in the 60s when there was so much turmoil in the world. There was a lot of turmoil in the world. We're talking about me, 1965. That was in the middle of when there was all sorts of race issues in the country. Martin Luther King was at his apex. Yet everybody met in downtown Waterbury, and we were one family from every high school. We loved music. We loved the Motown sound from Detroit. We loved the Beatles. We loved even the Frank Sinatra songs. And if you didn't go to Genlocks, you went to the Handy Kitchen. There are so many remarkable memories that came out of Waterbury, and the collegiality and the bonding are absolutely irreplaceable as far as I'm concerned from those years. After that, you know, CROFT was no longer downtown. It went up to be the high school on the hill on Macaroni Mountain in Town Plot. Right? Crosby High School closed and went out the east end. You see, Wilby High School closed and went out Bucks Hill. Everybody was separate from each other. Nobody saw each other anymore. We're looking to see if we're going to do this every 2 years or maybe even every year if enough people wanted to do it. To have a gathering, one night, a gathering like this. This is George Palladino, class of 1964. Correct. I'm correct? George is one of those unique individuals that graduated from CROFT High School. And what makes George Palladino unique is he's an idea man. He certainly is, and he could give a little sniffle and a giggle, but George is so highly respected. He had the idea for this reunion and called Bernadette Graziosa, and she is the foot soldier that helped put the whole thing together. He is a retired senior vice president of the Marriott Corporation. He's an incredibly talented man, and he's such a asset to Waterbury, Connecticut. He's one of Waterbury, Connecticut's finest. And I introduce you now to George Palladino, presently residing in Palm Beach, Florida, if I'm correct.
A little late for the shoes, but maybe I could save the watch. Thank you, Ed. Delighted to be here. I've been out of Waterbury the better part of 40 years, but you know, you can take the boy out of Waterbury, you can't take Waterbury out of the boy. Still have family and friends here, I still come back on an ongoing basis. And I always quip that Connecticut's a wonderful place to be from, and it is. And you know, I find that what's been great, especially in this age of electronic media, is that we've been able to connect with people, you know, through our Facebook page and stay current. And so what's been great is that we all got together 2 years ago for a 50th reunion for the class of 64, but invited the classes of 65 and 63. And that was kind of the genesis of everybody getting to know each other again. And then in these intervening 2 years, we've had this, you know, social media connection. And it was great. So when we got into the idea of doing a CROFT Reunited, we were able to fly ideas electronically, and it was wonderful the response we got and how everybody really embraced the thought of getting together again and not have it be a reunion but have it a reuniting. So you know, it was a great feeling, and I was delighted to be a part of it and delighted the way everybody embraced it, frankly.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Joe and Bernadette Graziosa. They are the owners of the Grotto, and you would see advertisements all over Waterbury for Mrs. G and the Grotto. It's one of the most unique restaurants in the state of Connecticut. Not only is the food traditional Italian, delicious sauce and meatballs, and traditional Italian fare, but they have very unique gifts to offer to people, and that's a very important part of their business. With that said, you have a couple here that are still working probably 60 hours a week or more in their business, yet both of them found time because they had a passion to put together this reunion of sorts, this gathering of the CROFT family, so to speak, from 1958 to 1965.
And I want to thank Ed for all his wonderful comments, and he's definitely right about, you know, CROFT High School. And as I said, my husband and I do own the Grotto. But our story is that we met in high school at CROFT High School, and we've been together ever since. And we have wonderful memories of school. Joe was on the football team, quarterback of the football team, and we just, through the years, had our own careers. And then at one point, we did, you know, get into the Grotto. We've worked together ever since. So it's been a great time and a relationship for us.
It's a true American success story.
Yes.
Joe?
We met in high school. I'm kind of unique. I was the last Leavenworth, first CROFT. So my diploma says CROFT. And we met a lot of nice people. luckily in sports I met a lot of people. Still friendly with them. So CROFT, I have some good fond memories of, and very proud that I went to CROFT. And I'm exceptionally pleased with tonight. It's a lot of happy people between tonight and last night and this morning. A lot of happy faces.
Yes, definitely. You know, when you're planning something like this, you know, as Ed said, you know, we really did a lot of different things, but you never know how it's going to turn out. And this has been very successful. People are really enjoying themselves, and I say, when I see everyone so happy, so glad they came, that really makes my day, because we know that all the work that we all did as a committee was really appreciated, and like Ed said too, they want to come back. So I don't know if I said it, but I am a graduate of the 1963 class, and Joe is a graduate of the 1961 class.
We all want to send a big thank you to the camera crew. Nick, you and your guy here and your lovely wife were just absolutely fantastic. We couldn't ask. Thank you. This actually, as far as I'm concerned, you filming this made it.
Yes.
We have, that's how things happen. Joe and I run into each other at Brooklyn Bakery, one of the greatest institutions on the planet, a Waterbury landmark, Brooklyn Bakery. We had breakfast together and talked and said, you're going to go up to see Mrs. G and we're going to film this.
Well, what I got out of this tonight is this was a real gathering of old Waterbury educational people to let these kids know in this community where you people were, where we all were, all got educated from all different walks of life. We're still true Waterburyans, and we got a hell of an education in this town when we were kids, and we all moved on to greater professions. So you could make it in Waterbury, Connecticut. And all the slandering and all the bad stuff and all the garbage they talked about tonight proves that Waterbury people are faithful to their core. They made it before and will make it again.
Beautiful.
You are
so
absolutely
true.
right.
So true.
Definitely.
Thank you.
A lot of major stories tonight of all the kids. They're no longer kids, but what an educational program this is, ladies and gentlemen, of all the past and the future and where we are today. Waterbury had a great educational program all these years, and hopefully for the years to come. Thank you, good night, and God bless you all.
Let me know if life is like home.